This video is brought to you by HelloFresh. Stick around to the end of the video to see what they have to offer.
I am Mightykeef.
Today's gonna be a good day, boys. I even got out my green screen. And y'all know I love my green screen. What? You wanna know why it sounds like somebody met me in the back alley and jumped me, stomping my nose in a dozen times? It's quite simple. For some reason, I got sick. I hate getting sick. I almost never get sick, except on the times, of course, that I do get sick. I didn't really want to make a skit sounding like I'm constantly chewing on toothpaste because I don't feel like the jokes would hit the way they would if I just had my normal voice going. So I still wanted to have at least one more video out to you guys, to you beautiful people, by the end of the year. What better than to make a video about the games of this year. Let's get into it by using my awesome green screen. Starting at number 10, Deathloop. I enjoyed the guns that you can get, the upgrades that you can get. I enjoyed the PvP aspect, jumping into other people's games or having someone jump in your game. It kind of reminded me of like the Dark Souls format of PvP. And I enjoyed, just trying to strategically figure out how to get everyone in the same room or the same stage and off them at the same time. I thought it was pretty fun. It probably wasn't the best of Arcane Studios, but it was still a very good game. Which reminds me, it also, Deathloop, did something like introduced me to another great game from this studio called Prey. And Prey is just amazing. And this has nothing to do with this video because that came out in like 2017, but everyone should check out Prey because that game is awesome. Number 9 would be Metroid Dread. Now, Metroid Dread is only low on my list because I did not finish it. I think it's an amazing game. I love Metroidvania games. The game was just so fluid with all of its movement, its combat, its lore, everything that you wanted to do, you could, right? It was a very intuitive game. Things made sense in that game. And that's all I could ever ask for, right? Fluidity in the controls and the movements and the action and being rewarded for exploration. And Metroid Dread did that 10 out of 10. And if I finish it, I'm fairly sure it's gonna go from 9 to like, I don't know, 5 probably. There was some drama and conversations around it when it came out. But at number 8, I'm putting Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was everything good about the 2018 Spider-Man, and they just made everything better. And that's all I could ask for. The combat first for Miles was completely, well, not completely, but much different than Peter's. So it wasn't like a clone, right? Because of course Peter had his whole he was more of like a brawler, but Miles is more of like kind of stealthy. There was a lot of invisibility going on. There was a lot of trickery going on with the electricity traps and things of that nature. And it was just he had his own identity, and I loved. That was my only fear going in. And Insomniac Games is goated. We should all know that by now. So whatever's in their hands is gonna turn into gold, right? And it's doing well so far money wise, and that's good because I want them to continue to make these type of great games. I mean, the villain was pretty cool. The characters were pretty fun. Miles was amazing. That actor is amazing, and he glue up. His hairline isn't messed up anymore. It actually looks like an African American hairline. Swinging through the city, feeling like Spider-Man. I'm sorry to sound IGN right now, but really beating the crap out of villains with fun combos that you can really just think of on the fly, right? And then using like I said, the electricity traps and all those things. It was awesome, and the pacing was good. It was only about 8 hours. You could probably even make it 6 if you really rushed it. 8 hours. That's with some side quests. But it told the story in the time that it needed to. And it was only. I know there was a lot of conversation. DLC, yada yada. Look, that's ridiculous. It was a very good game. It did better than a lot of AAA games. And this game is, I don't think, considered AAA because it's only $50. I think that's usually AA price. I'm also grading it off of a AA score. And as a AA game, that's an amazing game. Okay? Let's talk about more AAA games that came out, right? What would be number 7? Well, sadly, it'd have been more of a cool ass joke if this came at number 8. But number 7 would be Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil Village is the first game that I streamed from beginning to end all on Twitch. And that's a huge thing for me. The game was a thriller ride because you never knew what was gonna happen. It wasn't too scary. It was more of like that anticipation, right? Am I gonna get my head bit off by this werewolf dude? Am I gonna get my head crushed by this big woman's thighs? I really hope it's that option. But if it's not, what's gonna happen when I go into this swamp and there may be something in there? You know, it was beautiful. I loved it, and the controls were fun. The upgrades, you know, they still kind of played it safe. It was a lot like. It was a lot like 7, just a little bit more, you know, more actiony, of course, a little bit more fast paced. But it was fun. It was a good ride, and everyone I streamed with enjoyed it, and it was cool. The villains were cool. Ethan was Ethan, I guess. And yeah, the plot was fun. Everything was good about it, and I can't wait for them to make another one that's first person. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 7 was fun. 6, I'm reaching back from technically 2020, but it still counted as 2021 games. And it's also another launch title for the PS5, and it was in fact a PS5 exclusive. And that game is Demon's Souls Remake. But Keith, hold on. Now if you watch me for a while, you know I'm being a bit of a hypocrite right now, because I used to not put games on this Game of the Year list if they were remakes, because I figured that's not fair. You're giving this game a second chance to do good when there were other games that just came out for the first time ever this year. Well, I'm taking it back because Demon's Souls was so damn fun. I loved it. Does it make me a hypocrite? Yes. Does that make me a terrible person? Yes. I don't know what else to say after that. Years passed and now Demon's Souls is out, and this is supposedly the hardest one, right? This is the one that came out years ago and everyone was like, this is so hard. This is what birthed the Souls game. Come to find out, it's actually not that hard. It's a very challenging game, but it's not harder than like Bloodborne or the Sekiro or the other Souls. It's a perfect game to get people into Souls game, and I think that does wonders. That doesn't mean it's not hard, by the way. It's not hard in terms of like compared to the other Dark Soul games, in my opinion, right? And this is from someone who is not good at these games, right? But I've gotten better because I was able to be in Demon's Souls and train and understand, you know, the iframes of the rolling, how, you know, if you have too much encumbrance, you can fat roll, and that's not good. You know, picking different builds. I learned all that by playing Demon's Souls. Number 5 would be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Rift Apart was like in your face, fast-paced action the whole time. The characters were lovable. It looked like you were playing a movie. It was like I was playing a Pixar movie. It's insane. The particle effects, the guns, the dual shock controllers when you shot stuff, it was all so satisfying. Just getting all the weapons and having fun shooting them off. Like it was like the same satisfaction I get from playing a Borderlands game, with all the crazy gunfire and crazy shooting and explosions everywhere. It was like that, and it was weird. It was an action adventure game, and it was phenomenal. I love that game. Number 4, Capcom. Holy crap, you're amazing. I don't know what's going on, but Capcom for the past 4 years has been on their hits. And at number 4 is Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise was so good. I put 130 hours into that game in like the first week, bro. That game is so good until it's not. Nah, yeah, Keith, why would you say that and have it at 4? Well, because, listen, Monster Hunter Rise was so amazing in the first 130 hours that I said it's got to be top 4, because I haven't even gotten 130 hours out of Ratchet and Clank or what else did I put up here? Spiderman Miles Morales. I haven't even gotten 100 hours out of Demon's Souls yet. I said to myself, if I can get 130 hours out of this game and have fun the whole time, it should still be top 4. Now, if you're a Monster Hunter veteran, you should understand 130 hours it ain't nothing, right? You can play those games endless because there's always new monsters to fight, different variants of the monsters, new gears to collect, new builds to do, new, you know, it's a skill-based game, right? So there's combos in it, and there's always different layers of combos that you can adapt in the gaming. It's just an overall amazing game. The issue with Rise is that there is no content. There's literally once you're done, it's like the post game is not as good as it could be, right? And usually you give them a pass because you're like, okay, G rank's gonna be in a few months or a year. We're getting Sunbreak sometime next year, and I think it's gonna be phenomenal. The sad thing is, I expected a little bit more from Rise's post game leading up to that. It's like I expected something every 3 months or something really, really fun. And they did the Apex stuff, but it wasn't as good as it could be. And I'll explain why, because the comparison I'm making it to is another, not only Capcom game, but another Monster Hunter game. Another Monster Hunter game that's coming at 3. Number 3 would be Monster Hunter Stories 2. Capcom did it again. I don't understand. They have just produced bangers for the past few years. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter World, Devil May Cry. Post game from Monster Hunter Stories 2 was godlike. And then the road schedule for its content, godlike. Rise did not get any of that. The road schedule for Monster Hunter Rise was like, you beat the game, you do a few of the post-game stuff, and then there's some quirky event, then nothing until Sunbreak a year from now. Monster Hunter Stories 2 was like, you beat the game, cool, do all these other dungeons to get the elder dragons or higher level monsters and breed them, and then you can do PvP with it, or you could just fight even stronger monsters. Oh, and guess what? In a month we're giving you even more monsters. There's gold Rathalos. I'm sorry, Silverwind Rathalos, gold Raytheon. There's pink. There's a pink Rathalos coming out. Azure Raytheon. So much stuff. They gave you so many different stuff and different variants and different monsters and different reasons to always go back to that game, right? For the whole year, for the rest of the year. Monster Hunter Rise, once you're done with the game, there's not much to do, and that sucks. But it still gives you over 100 hours of fun. So I had to be at my 4, and Monster Hunter Stories 2 is at 3. Number 2 is actually I didn't think this was gonna happen. One, because this is the first time I've played a game of this franchise. I bought a game from this franchise and never really played it. And this game would be Shin Megami Tensei 5. This is a fun game. Games like this make me never want to touch Pokemon again. Monster Hunter Stories 2 and Shin Megami Tensei 5 are games that are just like, if you never want to play Pokemon or have fun with Pokemon again, then just play those games, right? But if you do want to play Pokemon, never play Shin Megami Tensei or any other quality monster catching game, because it's going to ruin your experience for Pokemon. I mean, you can really just create the perfect creature, and it is so fun, right? You can mix and match the abilities, you can fuse monsters together to create stronger monsters, you can really build a team however you want. You want to make a super tanky character, right? Where he has like no negative traits, but he just sucks at damage. You can do that. You want to make a character that only his design is to lifesteal, right? You can do that. You want to make a character, you want to make a demon that only has the ability to just throw status effects on people, and they get to build off those status effects, like they heal depending upon how many status effects they throw on people, or they get buffed, or they get to do a combo off of it. You can do that. If you want to make a character who has literally one move, and then the 6 other move slots are just passives to increase its damage or crit, and you can make this one-dimensional ass high-striking character. You can do this type of stuff if you choose to. And the freedom of doing that is so fun. The story is really engaging. You know, it's kind of like, you know, God and devils, and it's like Persona's kind of talks about the stories of people and societal issues, where Shin Megami Tensei kind of talks about like philosophical issues, like with God and religion and stuff like that. So it's completely different, but I enjoyed it. It is so good. And at number 1, oh man, number 1, my most favorite game of this year is yet another JRPG. And if you've been with me on Twitter, then you know what I'm about to say. Number 1 for me was Tales of Arise. I love me a JRPG with a good story, with good graphics, with good combat. And guess what? I got all 3. The combat in that game is so fun. I legitimately felt like I was playing a fighting game. It felt like I was doing combos like in a fighting game. And usually only Capcom games give me that sense of fun, right? Like with Devil May Cry or Monster Hunter Rise or Dragon's Dogma. Oh, but Tales, I need to play more Tales games. I played Tales of Vesperia for a little bit, but never got too far. But I apparently need to play more Tales games because those games are sick, right? And the characters, they were good. They weren't like, I guess, super duper Omega memorable, but they were good. You know, it was fun. I enjoyed a lot of the banter that they had, and the story was very engaging, awesome. The graphics are so beautiful, and the combat was fun. Everything was just so good about that game, and it's one of those games where it's like I don't want to leave. I just want to go back in there. I'll even do a new game plus, and I haven't even finished most of the post content. It's just everything around it is so good. Yeah, but that was my list, guys. I don't know how long this video is. I don't know if I've cut it up or whatnot, but I got the green screen, so that should make it look somewhat professional. Guys, hope you guys have a great New Year's, and we're gonna really ramp it up in 2022. A lot of games are coming out. We're gonna ramp it up starting hopefully next week. I got, like I said, 4 skits. If you're on Twitter, I have 4 skits written right now, and I'm ready to just pop them up. And of course, the Halo Infinite multiplayer skit's supposed to be coming out, but again, I didn't want to do it with my nose feeling like this. But I hope you guys have a great New Year and be safe. See you next year. That's so cliche, I don't care, bye. Guys, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered straight to your doorstep. You ain't even gotta go grocery shopping. You just gotta cook the food they give you. This winter, you wanna cozy up with something comforting, something delicious, something familiar. Some type of chicken-based broth, right? You can check out their chicken ramen. Grocery shopping can be hectic, especially during these holiday hectic times. HelloFresh kind of takes out the craziness and the noise and the chaos by providing you the fresh ingredients yourself so you can spend more time doing the things you love, like eating. Now, it's not just a dinner. It's for all occasions, right? They have desserts, they have breakfast, you name it. HelloFresh offers many recipes each week to help you get out of that recipe rut you have. It's got Calorie Smart, it's got vegetarian options, it's got meals for the entire family if you want a whole bunch of servings, it's got everything. HelloFresh has more 5-star reviews than any other meal kit out there, so you know you're getting something delicious. With HelloFresh, the produce gets from the farm to your doorstep in under a week to make sure it has premium, optimal freshness. You save time by using HelloFresh. You got all these options, right? And they take like 20 minutes to make, and usually you have enough for leftovers, and it's just perfect. And it's very sustainable because the boxes used to ship your food are made from recycled content. Me personally, I'm about to cook up this Southwest beef cavatappi. So go to HelloFresh.com and use my promo code KEEF16. You'll get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com and promo code KEEF16.